are back with the Bakersfield Underground, the Bug. And how the fuck does that track not pump you up, huh? We got our broskies, Tragic, Prince over here in the house in the Bug. Hell yeah, we got Jordan, Michael, and Justin. Welcome back. I feel like we've done this interview several times with different bands and shit, but yeah. How are you guys doing today, man?
Good. How are you?
Hell yeah, we're doing great over here, man. That's a dope ass fucking track right there, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I don't know how you guys maintain your voice after singing something like this, man.
Honestly, a lot of practice and just there's a safe way to do all that stuff.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh shit, man. All right, well, you're gonna give us a secret here in a little bit, then.
Well, that might cost you a little bit extra, but
hell yeah, man. So can you guys let us know where we can find you guys on social media? There's your camera right there.
Official Tragic Prince on Instagram, and I think it's Official Tragic Prince on Facebook too, something like that.
It is now, shit.
It is now.
Hell yeah! What about you guys? You guys have your own individual social media accounts also, right? Because you guys got a lot going on.
Oh yeah. Mine's just
plug that too, man.
Jordan Christopher Sutton. I can't remember what yours is. It Blast Beat?
No, I changed mine. I think I didn't even try to copy you. I didn't. It's Michael Anthony Bonanno.
Oh, is it the same thing? Oh, okay.
First name, last name.
Last time I checked, I think mine's like Justin Pittman, musician or something, or like
there you go.
Strike that, reverse it, or whatever. Either or.
Yeah.
There you go, man. So, hey, tell us a little bit about this band right here, because I know you guys individually from different bands, but now you guys are here together. You got this whole new band coming up, so. Give us a little bit of background behind it, man. What was the idea behind getting together?
I mean, me and Michael have done stuff together for a long time, and we've had another band it was The Habits. Yeah. We had original music for that, but then we ended up doing so many like cover shows as that band name that I don't know. I felt like it was too known as a cover band thing.
It got confusing because like we would be playing a show and we would tell people like, hey, we're gonna play next Friday or whatever, or like next Saturday at this play at Tumblr or whatever, and then they'll be like, oh, cool, and then but we'll have to like say like, oh, but it's original. Like it's an original show with original music.
Oh, you have to let them know that too.
Different people.
Because we
There's
did
people that like The Habits as like the cover stuff. So like they'll come and see us at like Wind Me Up or Tolo or any places like that. And that's just what they go for. So like they'd be interested to hear original music, but I don't know if they're gonna go to like Jerry's Pizza or these places. So.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty smart. You know what I mean? You gotta let the promoter know too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is what you guys are in for, or we got this right here too, type shit, right?
And it just felt like cool. it just felt like I think we wanted a more realized vision of what the band is, like theme wise and sound and all that stuff. So. Yeah, it was just like a good reset.
It's just like a new iteration because we've had like different phases of like our music in the past. Like we've had me and Jordan started playing together. The first was it Opus?
Technically, yeah.
Opus?
Oh yeah.
That was like 2012, probably around there, something like that. And then I don't know when we officially changed it to The Habits, but we were doing a lot of like progressive. It was still like progressive rock, but like Muse. It was a lot like Muse kind of. But like also Queen and stuff like that still.
Yeah, still I can hear the Queen sound on this new group. Yeah.
But then we just kind of evolved a little bit more, and then we started doing The Habits, and I feel like that also kind of influenced some stuff that we kind of are influenced by now. Like we started learning covers of different bands, and we got into those bands.
Yeah, that kind of opened our horizons.
Changed. Yeah, it changed kind of what we're into and like what our influences are for the new music. And then so it's just like the next iteration of it. And so we just decided like, so we'll change. We're The Habits, but like that got really confusing with like people that would want to see us and stuff, and just explaining it to everybody. So then we're like, let's change the name. So then we changed it to
Opera.
We changed it to Opera.
All right.
And
we did. Let's look around for a bit.
We did a podcast.
We actually did another podcast.
Really?
So
all right.
It was called. Well, do you know Bands of Bakersfield?
Yeah.
So we went on their podcast and we recorded it with Michael Peters.
All right.
and it was like we used it as like our official we're announcing our band is Opera now. So it was a really great. It was an awesome podcast. And everything.
Yeah.
But I think they just had some complications and some issues came up, and so they were like behind. They had like a line of like different other podcasts that they had to release.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened, but
it happens.
It
Yeah,
never
yeah.
came out.
It never came out.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
our announcement never happened, which was, I guess, good because we didn't really have. We had that song
Yeah.
as like we had Crossing the Jordan like finished for the most part to play, but I don't think we had it recorded.
So this was under the other group name, Opera,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Opera,
Okay.
Opera was going to be our like official like this is our band, this is our new sound, all that stuff, and then the episode just never came out, which is kind of a good thing.
So it's good, yeah.
I mean, well, not a good thing in the sense that like, oh, I'm glad that fell apart or anything, but just solely it worked out because it was like.
Name.
Yeah, the name, like we would try and search it on like Spotify or whatever, and it just would not.
Yeah, they
come up.
never
opera
released
music.
Yeah, okay.
Like
alright.
it, like a literal opera.
Oh,
music
okay, yeah,
would
yeah.
pop up, because it's opera.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It's like a genre.
You get
it's a type of
everything
music.
but what you're looking for,
So
type shit.
that
Yeah.
would show up first. We even had one time where we
Hey,
played
people don't
it.
even think about that, huh? So, yeah, because you think it fucking sounds really cool, but
Well, that's what we thought. So we thought it sounded really cool, and we were like, "Wow, nobody's named opera." Like,
I wonder why.
so cool. And we're like, "It's perfect."
Oh,
And then
that's
that
why.
happened. And we actually played. What's funny is we played a show at the Fountains at Marketplace.
All right.
And we did it billed as opera. And we actually had people like showed up there,
thought
and
it
they
was-
were like, "We came because it said opera, and that's just really interesting." I don't know. They didn't know what to expect. They thought it was going to be like
That's
opera
hilarious.
music,
Yeah,
maybe.
opera music. Yeah.
So like that happened, and then just not being able to find us when you searched it on any.
That was
like,
the
anything
biggest
in
thing for
Spotify.
me.
Yeah, you got to make it easy for everybody.
Opera is
too,
also
yeah.
like a search engine or whatever.
Yeah, it's
right?
a web
Oh,
browser.
yeah, that's a
browser,
website. Yeah,
so
browser. There
it's like
you
you
go.
can't have the website.
Yeah.
Opera.com or anything like that. So it's just
Wow, it was an algorithmic nightmare.
Yeah.
So
Fuck yeah. Well, you figured it out then, right? 'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah. That-
through the hard way, but yeah. So then we changed it again, and then that's when we became Tragic.
Nice, nice.
Which I mean gave us more time to sort of figure out our sound and because some
also,
of a lot of the
our
new
look and
material, our look and everything, a lot of the new material, we didn't have at that time, and I think like for myself personally, I wasn't like really sold on what sort of like focused vision it was going to be yet, you know?
Yeah, because there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just, hey, I'm going to start a band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot,
Yeah.
the look, the feel of it,
Yeah.
the kind of music. You know what I mean? What are we going to be playing? Because you guys are multi-talented, so it's like, what are we going to be playing here now?
Yeah, and I think the name sort of helped us realize that vision too, because we've always been, interested in like classical music and stuff like that. Kind of like how Queen sort of combines classical elements with rock and stuff like
And
that.
the storytelling
And
too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so I think having that name, at least for me, I don't really know exactly how for you guys, but it sort of helped me hone in on like what the vibe was going to be, like what the overall sound.
No, it helps you kind of picture like what does that look like. Like now that you have a name to it, it's like what does Tragic Prince look like? Like what does
Yeah.
what does it
Yeah.
sound like and what does it look like?
Now, what's the meaning behind the name?
It reminds me every time I look up Tragic Prince on Spotify, I'm reminded of what it's from.
It comes from a song from Castlevania.
Yeah, I know
game
exactly
series.
what you're talking about. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's
It
cool.
just-
So
it comes-
video games.
It comes
then.
from that. Because I got so frustrated trying to think of a band name that I just like. There's a bunch of different things in those games.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff that like sounds cool.
Hell yeah, it
you know?
does. Yeah.
And I remember making like a giant list of them, and I was like, okay, guys, let's.
Yeah, we had a list, and then we were it's kind of what we did with the Disassociates too. We
we did the same thing.
We were bouncing
Really?
around with like a few different names, and then same thing for both bands. We just kind of we pulled a list together, and then we just sat and like voted on it. And we're
This
like, okay,
sounds cool
what's
right
the
here.
top 5? Okay, what's
Yeah.
the top 3 now? And then
Yeah.
just are we cool with this one? And then we just gave
And then Tragic Prince worked out, like my life's tragic. I'm just kidding.
I'm a princess. That's fucking funny right there. Justin, where do you come in and play, man?
So I think they said that you guys said you knew each other from high school, right?
Oh, yeah.
did you?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
Technically
So
we
before
started
that, but-
before middle school technically, but
yeah. So there was that, and then they were going with the Habits for quite a while, and then years later I met Jordan at we worked at the same place, and then he invited me over for a couple, like sort of jam for a little bit.
How does the conversation come about? Hey man, I know how to play instrument type shit. Because you're at work.
I think I mentioned before because he would he put up like posters
Fucking
of
showing
like,
off. Huh?
no, like you put up posters in like the sort of the break room, like let the other employees know that where they were gonna play. And I think one time I saw like a Jerry's. They were playing at Jerry's one time, and I was just like, oh, you know, like I've been there before. I think also besides that, I might have mentioned that I also did music like in like all other stuff.
Nice. You never brought your bass to to work? You just fucking just stand there now, just like
I'm pretty sure. I feel like I remember someone saying like to me. I don't remember which coworker it was, but someone saying to me like, "Hey, are you still looking for like a bass player or something like that?" Because I think I had like kind of made it known to my coworkers.
all right, yeah.
And someone was like, "Well, Justin plays bass," and I was like, "He does? What the fuck?" And so I literally just walked out of my office because I think I don't remember if I was shift or manager at the time. I just walked out of my office, went straight to him on the court, and I was like, "Do you play bass?" And then he was telling me,
all my life.
And I was like, "You want to jam with us sometime?" It was something like that. It was so just as soon as I knew, it was just boom.
That's fucking
super
hilarious.
That's funny though, like because at that time I wasn't even really like playing bass. I mean, so I knew guitar, so like, well, yeah, I was playing drums, but I also knew guitar, so by default I also knew bass technically, but like, I wasn't even really playing bass that much yet. I just happened to have a bass just to like mess around with.
That wasn't even your bass, too, was it?
No.
Right. It was somebody in your other band or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you brought it over? It was like this. Was it black? I don't remember, but it had, it had a bunch of Star Wars stickers.
Oh hell yeah! That's funny because even where I work, we work with a lot of people, and there's a lot of rock bands in there too. There's some rappers in there too, and you're just kind of I can see them posting flyers up there too, and it's like, oh shit, you rap all these years and I didn't even know.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's cool though. How you guys are in the same area, and how you guys start meeting each other that way, through music.
Well, I remember because he told me about it. Obviously, he would fill me in on that, and then he told me I don't remember what was happening, but he jammed with him. You jammed with him before, like maybe a couple times. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And then he was telling me, he's like, no, it's awesome. Like, he likes all the same stuff that we do. Like, he knows all these Beatles songs that we know.
Nice.
And everything that we were doing for the Habits. So it just kind of, I feel like it kind of turned in, it was like, at that time we were doing more Habits, like cover stuff. So I feel like that's kind of what it started as. It was like, we want a bass, because we were just doing stuff to a click track. It was just us two.
I can't believe we did that for so long.
Yeah, man, that's fucking crazy.
Man.
But hey, sometimes that's how you start off.
We
Yeah,
could not do that now. Like, that was when we were playing for like an hour at a time, maybe.
That's
I
true.
think so. We only had like an hour.
A long time
set,
still,
which is
yeah.
a lot of Beatles songs, because they're like 2 minutes long.
Yeah, they're 2 minutes, so you're
But-
learning like 60 songs.
Yeah.
We played the click track, so we had bass tracks and like keyboard and like strings behind us and all that. And it just got exhausting dealing with that.
Hey, but sometimes you got to do that shit,
Yeah.
right? Until you get all the players in. So let's talk about having that chemistry with different players, right? So because I don't know if it's ever happened to you guys, but I've been in bands where it's like there's that one person who just doesn't blend in or just doesn't get it type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do we know? At what point do we know? Hey, man, like we got something here. We can do something with this talent over here.
I mean, I think at least for me, it's like if we can be friends, like if we can be tight knit friends, like that's literally like half the battle.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
Especially, that's honestly for me, like what I was saying is like if they have a lot of the same interests, it doesn't always have to be that way, because sometimes that breeds like really good dynamics in a band if somebody has totally different interests. Like as far as music
Like
and
you
all
don't
that
like
stuff.
Star Wars and shit.
Yeah, but like as far as music at least, like they might bring something totally different to the table. But
That is true,
But
yeah.
we all have all three of us have like very diverse musical interests. Like we're kind of open all across the board for a lot of things.
Hell yeah.
And I feel like that just kind of fits. Just because we tried a few different people, and some people just, I don't know, they have like one sort of thing that they're like, they either like metal a lot and stuff, and like that's kind of what they do. And so it's hard to get them on board and in the mindset of like doing other things, or like opening their mind a little bit to different things, kind of instead of just doing that one thing. So for me, it's like if it's somebody that that likes a lot of the same stuff we do, but is like as open with stuff that we are, like kind of, because we'll just throw anything at it, or we'll like a bunch of crap. So
Because then
it
when
just works for me.
when you throw an idea out there, they would understand exactly what you're
Yeah.
talking about type shit too. You know.
And then it just, like I said, like I was saying, it's like we started as a Habits thing, so we jammed, and that just, the chemistry worked there, and he knew like all that, and obviously me and Jordan like the same kind of stuff, so we just jammed on that, and then at least as far as us three goes, the dynamic between us three, and then that just moved on to our original music, which is again influenced by the same sort of stuff. Me and Jordan, I mean, actually, technically, me and Jordan, that's an example of like two people that come from different influences.
When worlds collide.
Because when we started out, like in high school, we started jamming in high school together, technically, like when we actually started playing music together. And he was into the Beatles and like classic rock,
Zeppelin,
and I honestly didn't like any of that at the time.
Really? Okay.
Like I was again, like the example I gave, I was like only into like death metal and stuff.
Death metal, okay.
And so that was all.
What kind of bands did you listen to in death metal?
In high school, I was like Job for a Cowboy, the Black Dahlia Murder, Nile, Meshuggah.
Some heavy shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Meshuggah too.
I was just into it. Like it was like anything with singing, I hated. Like actual singing, I hated. But I started jamming with him, and like I was just in that mindset a little bit. But like I started to open up and like listen to more. And my dad's into more of the stuff that he likes, so I started listening to more of that. And then once we started doing cover stuff, is when I got introduced into like listening to more of the Beatles and like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, like more opening up to more of that, and actually really getting
it's a whole other world, huh?
Yeah, and then it's just like now I'm like the opposite. So now I only listen to most of that, and then like I still kept like my few, like 4 metal bands that I'll listen to.
Yeah, because that's never gonna go away though. You know what I mean?
That kind of stuff. That's what got
cool.
me into that too, because I never really listened to that.
Oh, really?
But then he got me into stuff like like Meshuggah. Like I like Meshuggah, Tesseract, Between the Buried and Me. Opeth, like I probably never would have listened to those on my own.
Yeah,
if it wasn't for that.
And so for the recommendation and shit, for real.
I feel like Justin was kind of he's kind of a blend of two. At least the way I know you is you listen to metal.
Yeah, what kind of music did you listen to? Kind of bands were you out there listening to?
So before I was even joining bands, really, I was kind of keeping to the sort of music that I knew for the most part, that I grew up on. So it was a lot of the stuff that my parents were listening to, like a lot of the older classic rock stuff, mixed in with sort of the 2000s adult contemporary stuff that was also coming out that they were also into. There was a lot of John Mayer stuff, like what was popular.
That's not bad. John
time.
Mayer's not too bad. Yeah.
And
great guitar player.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I saw him live, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
When I was like 7 years old. Like that was like 2008.
That's cool.
That's fucking hella cool right there.
And then in high school, I got asked by a friend of mine who. Yeah, I don't know why I'm losing my words here. I was just like, I just get into it.
And his name was John Mayer.
Yeah, right on the money. But yeah, he was telling me the kind of music that he was wanting to do with like the band that he was starting, and it was kind of like punk, like thrashy type stuff. And at that time, I was already a little familiar with metal, but I wasn't really like actively going out and listening to it so much myself because. At that point, I was just kind of like, whatever I hear, I just decide like if I like or not. For the most part, it was pretty much like, oh, this is cool. But also mixed in with that occasional sort of like, I don't know why. At one point, it's towards like the middle of my high school years, I got really, really just sort of like, everything after the 90s sucks. I'm just going to listen to like alternative rock and 70s
You're not,
rock,
wrong about that now.
No, I was like really hardcore about that. Like I was just, I was really into Radiohead, Smashing Pumpkins, and
oh hell yeah, some good music right there too. Yeah,
and I still love it. And,
hell yeah.
But later on, I ended up. I think you're the one who kind of like turned me on to Between the Buried and Me and like Contortionist and stuff, because I don't even think I'd even like heard of BT Bam like before that, because a lot of the people I was jamming with, they just weren't really like listening to that specific type of metal. It was just a lot of thrashy stuff mainly.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of like, it was either thrash or death metal or deathcore, and that's just kind of how I saw metal for the longest time. It's just like, oh, so it's basically just all this stuff.
I feel like there's still Between the Buried and Me is still one of those bands where it's like I probably wouldn't have been listening to them if I didn't grow up. Like I started listening to them in like freshman year of high school, and then like just been listening to them ever since. And so, and I still don't. I feel like I don't hear about them a lot still, but they're like decently big enough in the metal genre. Mm-hmm. But they're just one of those bands where, like he was saying, it's like the people that he knew like weren't really listening to that kind. They're just a very niche.
Yeah, there isn't too many people like that.
They're progressive metal, but it's weird. It's
It is
really
very-
weird stuff.
It is very.
But it's good stuff though, because
Yeah,
you don't want to
it's
listen
great.
to the
That's
normal, regular shit. You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
and they're also like they're really like a musician's metal band.
Yeah, that's
more
true.
so because
Yeah.
like they have like 10 to 15-minute songs and stuff like that. And it's
Yeah,
just,
yeah. Which you guys have a pretty long song too that we're gonna get into here in a little bit.
We're gonna break our record with the new one.
Oh, really? All right. Hell yeah, I love that right there. Justin, you play for many different bands. How do you separate? What does your calendar even look like, man? Because all of them are playing different dates at the same time, pretty much.
We see it on our
Sometimes
show
at the
calendar.
same time.
You had a show where you had to be there on 2 different shows?
Yeah, basically.
No shit.
Oh, actually, yeah.
No, when we played Fest, right? Is that what you're gonna talk about?
that's right.
Yeah.
We did all three bands. So we
shit.
played the last Fest. I think that happened.
Yeah.
We played as Disassociates. He had the New Revenge, and then Tragic Prince. We played as Tragic Prince.
How did you guys manage that?
we
Okay,
played
that's a
all
perfect
3.
example. How did you manage that right
Oh
there?
my god!
I think
like,
when we were talking to Ruben, I think, right? Or
Yeah, to
did
be
you
like,
talk-
hey,
were you
man,
talking
I'm on 3 of
to
these
him, or
fucking
was it
bands.
Trenton? I don't know.
All different stage too.
Yeah,
We just
yeah.
we basically just communicated with him.
no,
like,
it was.
hey,
Thank God it was like a pretty small, like, you know, because it's Temblor. It's not like too big, so I'm not like, it's not like a big music festival where I'm just like rushing over to the opposite
Yeah.
side of like the park or whatever.
But still, you don't want to be late though. You don't want to be late to, you know.
But thankfully, they were spread out. The schedule was spread out just enough to where I was able to comfortably, like, you know, pack up all of my like New Revenge stuff and kind of like get out of that mindset in order for me to get into a different mindset for.
Yeah, you got to mask up, fucking move on to the next one.
I think it was Tragic Prince earlier in the day. Probably in the afternoon.
think so.
And
Yeah,
then,
I think so.
And then New Revenge, and then Disassociates later.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there was a good amount of, you know, a little break there, so you can get something to drink at least, you know.
But he was
Yeah.
also not just. I mean, he was playing like he'd play bass in Tragic Prince, and then he goes and plays drums.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like
And-
you're just everywhere.
Back to bass.
And he goes back
all
to
at
bass.
once.
You ever pick up the wrong instrument? You're like, nope, not this one. That's fucking hilarious. At what point do you guys start wanting to write your own music? Because one thing is playing covers, right? Which is cool. I feel that every band should start with playing covers to get comfortable. You know what I mean? With the music that's out there. But at what point do you guys start wanting to write your own music for this band?
I'm not like writing for it like every day, but like there's always that itch for me to want to do that, you know?
All right, to have your own writing and everything. Then.
Yeah, I mean, like when we first started doing music stuff together, like, I mean, we've technically been writing for, you know, whatever that is now.
We
like
started
15
like
years.
I started. Yeah, like even before.
Yeah,
I
even before,
I played
yeah.
with Jordan. Like when I had my own bands, like metal bands, we never did cover stuff or anything.
All
So
right.
I've always been since I was younger, just like started out in a band, like already making like an original thing. Like
Oh,
trying to
that's
write
fucking
stuff.
dope right there, then,
And then
yeah.
when we started playing together, we were just writing stuff. We weren't playing covers. The cover thing was like I don't remember how we really. My dad was a big part
Probably-
of that.
I think so,
I think he
yeah.
really wanted us to start doing that, and then we actually
okay.
started playing. Like to test it out, we started for the first year, whatever, we were playing at like retirement homes.
Yeah, it was
We
very
played
Really
retirement
retired.
homes.
How was the crowd there, man?
fantastic,
great.
dude.
Well,
They're
But if
fantastic.
you're doing like, you know, 50, 60 songs, then I mean they're already
They
gonna
love
know.
stuff.
They love that.
Yeah,
stuff.
that brought them alive, huh?
We started out just as a Beatles cover band with like maybe one Elvis song, and we did like one Roy Orbison song.
Oh
But
shit!
it was all
Okay.
it was all Beatles, pretty much.
All right.
So they love that stuff, and like
Yeah, they
I
do,
mean, the
yeah.
reception we would get is like, oh, like you guys brought me back, or like,
Yeah, that's cool
I
though,
saw
man.
them. I saw
Oh, yeah.
them when they
I
were
was
in.
there.
Yeah, I saw them at this venue.
I was there. I was a
I snuck
groupie.
I snuck into the hotel. When they
Oh,
were at
shit, they had those
stuff like that,
stories.
Yeah.
Hey, but isn't that cool though that you could at least say that you were able to entertain a crowd like that? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? 'Cause that could be a tough crowd sometimes.
No, it was. I mean, it was really cool, and it is very rewarding because it's like, you know, for some of these people, it's like that. You know, they were there, and so for
Yeah, yeah.
them to have that literal experience, and then to be like, and to watch us and listen to us play, and then like what we did, to me, that's like a huge, like,
hell yeah.
wow,
Like
you were
validating.
there. You're right.
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
there. You
Yeah.
saw these people live.
Yeah.
And then,
That's a trip,
to
man,
to
yeah.
like and appreciate like us doing a cover of it is like, it's a fantastic feeling,
Oh,
It
hell
really,
yeah.
really
yeah,
is.
we started doing original stuff, at least with me and Jordan, and like so that the cover thing was just kind of an extra on the side thing. That
Yeah, again, it's like practice, like band practice, pretty much with an audience member. You
I
know
don't
what I mean?
about Justin though.
Yeah.
Just I got all the groupies over there.
Did you start doing cover stuff like? Because I know you started by taking lessons, or you were taking lessons and stuff.
Yeah. So when I was really young, I was taking lessons, and yeah, it was pretty much all just covers. And I would, in town, there was that Prime Cut place that used to be,
Oh, yeah.
where,
Is that what Sonder is now?
yeah, there was that, and I would kind of I was there, and sometimes it was very like casual. I would just sort of jump up and play a few covers, because I was good enough for that. And down at Pismo, there was a Finn's where I would do like the exact same thing, and yeah, I was just kind of like at that point where I would just go up. I knew just enough chords to where I could comfortably play a lot of these older, like more like simple classic rock songs.
Yeah.
And I think once I got into high school, I stopped doing that because that was just sort of like I was getting into a different. I was getting into a whole different like thing where I didn't really want to be that. And
you were over it.
That transitional period was like as teen angsty as you could imagine it. I was just sort of like, man, like I don't want to be this like Jackson 5 freaking like squeaky voiced anymore.
Yeah.
Tired of doing all these dance moves.
Yeah, and that last gig I did at like the county fair or something, was it. I was just like, man,
You
like,
had enough.
I fucking suck. Wait, can I?
Yeah,
curse?
you can fucking
sorry.
suck.
It's just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And like that, but that was good for me because I had to sort of find like my new sort of way of. What do I want to do musically? And just at the right time, like is when I started making more friends at school, and we were getting together and practicing, and I started like finding other stuff that I would later get into.
That's cool though, but you did it. You probably just had enough of it, and it wasn't really your thing, like you said. But at least you did it, right? You that experience is still good. You still take that with you and shit.
No,
you know what I mean?
I'm thankful, for
hell yeah.
that I was able to.
That's what's
to do
up.
that.
Yeah, I really look at the cover stuff as just like a second job.
Yeah.
Like it's fun. Like I enjoy when we do it, but like, yeah, I've emotionally just sort of put it over as like it's a job.
Yeah, yeah. And people get entertained by that too. You know what I mean? All the classic tracks and everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell me about the new tracks over here. At what point did you guys were like, hey man, we got to start recording this? We got these dope ass songs right here. How are you gonna bring that vision into the studio? Because these songs go fucking hard, man.
I feel like it's changed over the years. When we
Alright.
first started recording, it was very like, I feel like we would have a very simple understanding of what we were doing, and then a lot of it we would write like in the studio.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
as we're doing it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is not recommended.
No, you gotta have some money for that, man.
I mean, luckily when we were recording at B2, I mean they didn't charge that much, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was really affordable, and she was really.
Oh no shit. All right.
She was really good with that. She's like one of the perfect people to do it with. Like she has a lot of input.
All right. So the first track, No God, No Kings, that one was recorded at that studio.
That one was. This stuff is way later.
Okay.
Like when we record now, we try to get as much of it in like a mental understanding of what it's gonna be before we go in, as you should, and then
Yeah.
So like most of what's there is like kind of been for the most part figured out.
Yeah, we usually make. I feel like a lot of people in bands will do it, but we make a demo now. Like we'll.
Oh, yeah,
at
of
home,
course.
We make a demo. Before we didn't do that. It was
Yeah,
Just like,
okay.
We would play it live. Like with
Shit.
each other, we would play like the song, and we had like a rough idea, and then we go into the studio, and then we would just finish the song there, basically write the whole thing there. But
I just get antsy, and I'll be like, let's go. Let's go record.
Yeah,
But
but,
the-
I mean, now it's just like, because it costs more and everything. It's like,
Oh,
we
yeah.
need to,
Yeah,
we
when
need
we're-
to spend our time very wisely.
When we're going to Brian, it's like, okay.
And even then, we're not as wise.
Oh, so let's talk about Brian Boozer, Arm Studios, man. Big shout out to you. You start working with Brian now, then, right? Which
Yeah.
he brings this whole. You come in with this little track, he turns it into this big ass fucking thing, right? So tell me, why was Brian the right person to go work with?
So I don't remember how exactly we got.
Did Bree find him?
No, it was us technically. Well, he found us through the Woolworth session.
That's right. Okay.
But I think I had reached out to him like once before that.
All right.
But we didn't.
Yeah,
have
let's
to
put
do
him on
anything with
blast. Let's put him on
Yeah, I
blast.
didn't hear anything back. I don't know how I reached out, but I didn't hear anything back. And then, but I had looked up like his stuff online. Like I went on Instagram, and I also had been like looking at all the bands that he does work with.
Yeah, and then he
And I
heard
was like,
us,
oh, it
and then
sounds really
he
good.
liked us.
And then we did the Woolworth sessions when they were before they shut down the building.
Yeah.
They were recording everyone doing acoustic stuff in the space.
Yeah,
up
on
there
the
with all
top floor,
reverb.
yeah.
And we were one of the bands that they had come and do that.
That was so fun.
It was awesome. But he recorded those.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And then that's where we met him, and then I mean they liked us a lot, I guess. So he.
Sorry,
we
quick
got a hold of him.
tangent. Sorry, I'm gonna let you finish. But like when we were doing that Woolworths session thing, if you look up the video for that and you see ours, you might notice I had a Band-Aid. I think it was like I don't think it was the previous day, but it was a couple days before at work. I fucking sliced like one of my fingers or something.
Fuck.
So yeah,
You were in pain?
So I didn't slice my finger, but it was like a big enough cut to where I was just thinking like, oh god, you know. So like I needed a Band-Aid for
That's the
that.
story.
Band-Aid.
And so, in case you were wondering, that's
Yeah,
the
if
story
you
behind
saw the
Band-Aid.
Band-Aids.
It
If
was
you saw the
mandatory.
Easter egg
Everybody
Band-Aid.
wanted to know, yeah.
But yeah, he saw us there, and then he. We just kind of kept in contact with him, and then we were like, oh, we have new stuff that we're writing, or yeah, technically, but I don't remember. I think we started with.
I feel like we
With
started with
Disassociates,
Disassociates first.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we started recording Disassociate stuff there, and that's where we recorded that whole first
which is
album.
another
was with
great
him.
album, yeah,
And
yeah.
then after that, or at least during that process, we were like, oh, we're gonna start recording with him with our stuff too. So
That's dope because these tracks, they're I feel like they're very complicated. They have there's so much going on in the back. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, how do you put all of this together?
And
type
it's a
shit?
curse. I feel like we try to make stuff simple, and then we get in there, and we're like, you know what would be cool?
That is
though?
not
If we did
simple.
this?
we're notorious. Like we have at the previous studio at B2. Sharon can vouch for. We had like a file that she couldn't put any more tracks on it. Like we maxed out the amount of tracks, and we just had so many things to add to. There were so many layers. There was like 6 different guitar tracks, and like 2 different bass tracks.
She had to
and
combine stuff. So
Yeah, she
stuff
had to
that-
combine
Oh,
things.
stuff
shit.
stuff that was like maybe originally like a guitar track or whatever. She had to put some other thing sharing that same.
Yeah,
track,
just
you
to
know?
fit it all in.
Yeah.
Imagine how the Beatles did it. Huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say we really were back in like those 8-track equipment 1967 days.
Yeah. That's
Hey,
fucking
not to
hilarious,
compare or anything, but Queen had to re-record over those for Bohemian
Oh,
Rhapsody
yeah.
like
Oh, hell
100
yeah.
times. So
Yeah.
I'm just
Hell
saying.
yeah. So you're good,
I'm not
right?
saying anything. I'm just saying.
man. So let's get into the music, man. So Tragic Prince is available on all streaming platforms. We're gonna play the 3 tracks that are available right now. The first one that I got over here is very close to being 8 minutes long. So what the No God No Kings track. So why was it so? I mean, I'm not complaining, but why was it so long like that? You just wanted to get everything on there.
Yeah, I mean, we had. I wrote that as like a message,
All
right?
Yeah.
You know, these like. I mean, I technically wrote it like before like those like No Kings protests.
Yeah.
That people have been doing.
Yeah.
But that's basically like I wanted to write like a sort of anthem. Because I mean, I think a lot of people have been feeling that way for a long time.
Oh yeah,
you
most
know?
definitely, yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm gonna play it in the background because this is a dope ass track. But yeah, go ahead, continue.
that's like what it was. That's what I'm talking about.
Hell
you
yeah.
know? That's what it's for.
We also just struggle to write short songs. So
Yeah, but you gotta. You see, I like these kind of tracks. These long, because you're letting this whole song breathe, right? You're telling the story at that pace where you wanna get that message across too, right?
Yeah. I know it's a lot to say.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's a really good track right here.
this was technically recorded at that first studio, B2.
Okay.
And then we
that's
retracked.
right.
We retracked stuff.
Yeah. It's gone under a few iterations for sure.
Oh, I bet. I mean, for it to get this final. Okay, so I feel like you guys have like this style, this Led Zeppelin, Queen. You know, and I said Bee Gees because of the high voice. You know what I mean? Like all blend into one. But yeah, even the sound quality is fucking hella cool right here.
I know. Yeah. Brian just did. I mean, Brian. Well, even the stuff we did at B2, like even Sharon and Gary, like they did a really good job.
They
with
understood what you guys wanted, huh?
By that point, they were like familiar with how I'm sure irritating it is to work with us. So they knew what they were getting into that time around.
But you have to be like that because that's your baby right here, you know?
No, it is. Yeah, all of our long songs I've always looked at as like these are like each one is my Mona Lisa or something.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm always looking at it. He never finished that painting.
Really? All right.
He was working on that like all the way up until when he died.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
I feel the same way. I'll look at
We're
these.
still working on that song.
I'll look at these old songs and I'll like hear it and I'm like, could change that volume
Just a little bit. Like you hear it. But
yeah. Or like re-record just like a little thing. Still do it to this day.
How was it at the studio recording this track right here? Because there's a lot going on.
I feel like this one was actually still another one of those ones where we partially had it kind of written at home, but then we kind of finished it at the studio.
Yeah.
Because it was a different song. Like there's a whole middle section, like an acapella section, and that wasn't part of it when we were writing it.
No.
We had like a solo section, like this solo section. We had that, and then I think we were gonna do another solo section. It was gonna be like a little drum solo and like a bass solo thing. And then I don't know what happened, but like we just decided to do like an acapella section with like a multiple part.
I don't remember why it came to that idea either. I can't remember.
You have those recordings though.
We have the old. We have like the really old.
Oh man, I would like to hear that. That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, we try, like we try to figure out as much of it as home.
Oh yeah,
you know. But like, something about like when you're in the studio, it's just like being in a bubble. Like, you're like in another dimension, Yeah. And like, I don't know, things different. Just the magic just sometimes just comes together, and then you're like, I don't know, the way the planets are lined up, or with like right now, there's a blood moon happening.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
And it just happened to be on this night.
Hell yeah.
We left to come here. And I was like, look at that moon.
Yeah,
It's huge.
and I was like, this is Tragic Princess night. So, I don't know, something about like when you're recording and just like, we'll do something and then like, it'll just pop into our heads and we'll be like, what would be fucking cool? And then we just go for it. That happened with us when we were doing another song demo just the other day. I did like one little thing on accident, and then Michael was like, actually, that would sound pretty cool. And then we just ran with it, and then we expanded on it, and then that's how the song goes now.
Hell yeah. That's all it takes sometimes, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like
you
I said,
unexpected, yeah.
Yeah, we try to do as much of it as we can at home, but you just,
This part's actually. So these are the old drums from the first studio, but the rest of the drums on the song are from with Brian.
All right.
This section was what I was talking about when we were gonna do a drum solo thing, and we were with Sharon at B2, and like we just did a makeshift part for this solo. So she copy and pasted the same drum part, like the same few bars.
The timing for
and
this
the timing for it's bizarre. It's weird. And so I couldn't replicate it at Brian's. And so we were like, why don't we just use the old drums? I think Brian also said that. He was like, it might sound cool if it's a totally different section.
Yeah.
So if you're like actually listening to it in headphones or wherever, like
that's
the drums
cool.
sound way different.
I'm gonna have to listen to it again, knowing this info now. Tell me about the vocals in here, man, because you guys are pushing your vocals to its limits, man.
I think this song had like a major, obviously like a major Queen influence.
Yeah.
People also said like we got Sticks.
All right, Sticks, yeah.
Even though that wasn't really in the plan, but I
Yeah.
hear it.
I wasn't thinking that at all.
Sticks are Kansas and like Boston.
Yeah. This is cool, though.
In hindsight, it is kind of
Yeah,
like, I wasn't
it's-
thinking that
it
at
fits.
all, which is really
No.
fun.
Which are all really good bands, by the way, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I think, especially our harmonies, also kind of came off of the cover stuff. We started doing a lot of harmonies during the covers. Like me and Jordan had to learn, like figuring out how to do the Beatles covers, and like singing the harmonies. And that's when like we kind of got a lot of practice in harmonies. And then we were just like, oh, we're good at this, so let's apply it to the originals. And then same thing with Justin. Justin's really good at coming up with like another harmony. He usually does like the lower harmony with us. But yeah, I don't know. Like the opening with like the crazy, like super high stuff. Like that was on a random day when we went into the studio, and I don't remember what happened. I feel like I was messing around.
Yeah, and I feel like
I sang like a really high.
Did it start with like I was gonna do guitar, but then like I didn't?
Maybe.
Like, we didn't like it
I
or
think you were
something?
gonna play that on guitar.
Yeah.
And then I sang it. Like I hit that really high note in the beginning.
That was you right there.
And then-
Yeah, that was Michael.
And then we were like, we just kind of built off of that. We were like, oh, let's do another harmony, and then another harmony, and then like all three would come up. And it's actually hard to replicate that. Doing that live, we've been trying to figure
That
it
was my
out.
next question. Yeah.
So like it's still not foolproof live because it was a special day. When I did it, I don't know, I could do it. But like now I have to really, really work on it to get it. So like live, we have this whole thing like that we're trying to like workshop where it's like I'll start it and then like somebody else takes over that high note and
that's
then
smart,
I go down
yeah.
on the other harmony and then the third person takes over the high note because it's a really long note.
Yeah.
It's like impossible to
Hell yeah.
hold out the whole time.
Now, do you play this song first? Have you thought about that? Because do you want to go all in the first track, or do you want to save it to like mid or?
We've done both. We've
tried
opened
both
it with it and
ways,
we've
yeah.
played it last as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Justin, you got vocals in this thing too, then, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like this is the the revamped like remixed version with like a couple things added, and the original version we had out for a while. I don't think I had any vocals for like a little bit.
You got a little bit of a break then.
No.
Huh?
No, we did a lot of those harmonies and stuff like on a day that he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't make it one
okay,
day, and
okay.
we just again like it moves forward if we're feeling it. I mean, we just got carried away and we did it, and then we just finished the song.
Yeah, and then like when we came back to this, I was able to add in like some of those lower harmonies, like myself,
Which does make a big difference too. It kind of balances it all out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's get into Crossing the Jordan, which is another dope ass track. That's the one we came in with. What's the inspiration behind this song right here, man?
So kind of like with the whole like rebranding of the band and all that. With the rebranding of the band and all that, this is supposed to kind of be like. So Crossing the Jordan is kind of analogous for like going to the other side, like dying, basically.
Ah, nice.
To me, it's just kind of like being reborn, taking on a new life, you know.
Right.
And so, not just with the band, like rebrand, like me personally as a person, I feel like that's something that I had to do just for my own sake, my own well-being, the past couple of years. And so, in like a dark way of saying it, this song is basically just about being taken down the river Styx, and like dying, and then just having like being reborn and having like a new life in a way.
Nice.
You know?
But now he's blonde.
I know. Now he's blind. He's good now.
blonde. That's all I needed.
How do you guys collaborate with like the music writing? Does somebody come up with the idea and just kind of pass it along?
Usually, well, because I don't play guitar at all. So, I mean, Jordan usually has a riff or something that he brings out, and then like I'll come up with drums behind that riff, and then like we'll like jam on the song. Like sometimes he'll have a couple parts, but it's usually I feel like it starts out with just a riff, and then we all just kind of jam on it, and then like eventually we'll just figure out the next parts. It's really just jamming on the song until we are like, oh, this is cool. And then like we'll record those and then like take them home, and then like Jordan will take it home and listen to it, and then he'll make changes. He'll be like, oh, I don't want to do this part anymore, so we'll write a different part. And it's literally just that, like back and forth until we're in the studio, and then we record it, and then we're still doing that in the studio. He'll take back like the roughs of the studio recordings, and he's like, I want to do something else. So
how about this right here? Never ending and shit.
I'm pretty bad with that.
No, but that's cool though. Hey, at least you come up with more ideas versus not having any ideas. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of like the artwork, the cover. You know what I mean? So where does all this artwork come from?
So that picture is, I forget exactly what it's called, but it has to do with like the last man alive, like
all right.
in like the biblical story, he's like, we're not really religious, but in the biblical story, he's like punished by God to like basically live forever and watch everybody he knows dies and all that stuff. So it's like a punishment.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that's like what I was doing to myself for a long. I was kind of like punishing myself, like mentally. And so it's just kind of like a light, loose connection to that idea. And then that's why I felt the need to like sort of kill off my old self and live the life that I want to. You know?
Damn, hell yeah. That's deep right there, man. How do you feel about putting that into like a song though? You know what I mean? It's a little bit different, huh? Like,
yeah. Because I mean, like I've sang about like, you know, deep, sad things before, but not like something like that to that effect.
Yeah,
you know?
that deep.
Like I've sang about like, you know, past relationships or whatever, but like I think the idea of like killing off a version of yourself so that you can move forward is kind of
that's deep.
a little more, at least in my opinion, a little more like serious and personal than just some, you know, old relationship I had forever ago, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, Michael, how do you add on to something like that, though? He comes at you with, like, this story, and you're like, what can you add to that when it's his tragic story?
But I mean, I just bring the drums, and then I usually try and work on harmonies. I honestly, like, as far as the theme goes with the different songs, like, sometimes I'll, like, help him if, like, he's stuck on, like, a lyric or something. We'll, like, kind of talk about, like, what's a better lyric to do. But as far as, like, the meaning behind the song, I mean, that's really him. He's writing the lyrics, and he's singing the main part. So it's, like, that's another thing I'm not, like, super experienced in, like, actually writing vocals and, like, lyrics for something. I'm more on, like, the music side.
Okay, all right.
Or the instrumental side.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's most of my input is literally just like keyboard stuff, drum stuff, and then like harmonies, coming up with harmonies.
All right. So the vocals on this track right here are fucking crazy because you're yelling the whole time and you're holding that note too. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. How do you prepare your voice for like an event? Like if you're gonna sing this song live, how do you prepare for something like this?
So technically, when I first started writing this song, I had like an idea, and then like it got to a point where I was like, what I want to do, I can't physically do right now. Like those highs, you know? And then like at the very end of the song where I sing the high and then I do that one like that whole thing, you know?
Which can be very difficult.
And at the time when I wanted to do all that stuff, I couldn't physically do it.
There's a break in your voice.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So like your voice will crack.
At a certain point. Yeah.
But even just the placement for the high note was something that I couldn't do. I couldn't do that tone, you know. So I actually like literally I sort of took a year off from writing, and I was just focusing on practicing and finding my my new voice that I wanted. I didn't have at the time. I wanted that voice. I wanted that like that Guns N' Roses or like Robert Plant-esque like high note voice. I wanted it.
That's a hard one right there. Yeah.
And so I took a year off and like I tried doing like, you know, as much research as you can, I guess, on figuring out like how singers do things like
vocals
that. You know,
and shit. Yeah.
and I practiced like every single day.
That's a lot of yelling, man.
For a year, it was. And a lot of it took place in my car. But it was just like I literally just did it like every single day. I practiced doing that because I wanted that voice really. I wanted it so bad because I wanted to put that in that song. And that's how that came out, through sheer force of will. No, but just a ton of practice.
Because one thing is that you raising your voice that high, right? But another one is maintaining it now, right? That could be fucking difficult. Are you singing like from your gut? Like what is it that you're doing?
No, when it's highs like that, no. I'm it's like I'm putting it like, I don't even really know how to explain it. I feel like it's hard to explain. Like if you're a guitar player and like you do like pinch harmonics, like those are like real notes, but they're not real notes. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of what it feels like when I'm doing that with my voice. It feels like I'm doing a pinch harmonic with my voice and I'm just playing around with it. And then like trying to combine different like voices on top of that. Like I'm trying to layer different effects. I don't really know how to explain it, but it took a lot. It took a lot of like discovery, and then I mean, there's tons of stuff online about like how sing, like for metal, for instance, like there's tons of ways to properly scream and stuff. You know? It's just like the proper like vocal placement. It took stuff like that, you know, and then some of it is just like a little bit of self-discovery. At first, it hurt a lot. You know,
I'm pretty sure.
It hurt a lot.
It's a lot of stress on the voice,
Well, and then I wasn't putting it in the right place either. You know? Okay. And so it was like just discovering like where that vocal placement is supposed to be, and then sort of theory crafting my own idea of like, okay, well, how can I blend that into like another voice? 'Cause that's really like what it is, you know, like when you're singing, you know, na 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 na, and then you do those are different placements. And then, you know, you sing, you practice, and you can have like da da da. You can just sort of blend that all together, but those are technically like different voices, you know. So with that, it's kind of the same idea. It's a different voice, and I've sort of figured out how to layer it with like some rasp or some like grit a little bit, you know. And then I figured out a way that works for me. I don't know if the way I do it could work with anyone's voice.
That's for you though.
But that's just how I figured out it works for me.
What about your breathing? Because, you know, breathing plays a big role when you're singing up there on stage and shit, man. And it's something that, unfortunately, we all learned it the hard way, right? When we run out of air, we're over there singing.
There's
like
a couple of parts in some of our songs where I have to either just step back and not do like a split second of something, or I have my boys take over like a part. Like in the next song, like for the chorus, when we play it live, I won't do the high part because I've got to get right back into the beginning of the next chorus melody. You know, and there's just not enough time. To like,
it's not possible.
You're gonna
pass out in there.
I would just be hitting the floor on the first line of the chorus. So
hell yeah,
it just took practice, you know, figuring that out for myself.
Cool right there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, let's get to that track right here. Am I Crazy? Another great track right here.
It's always nice to appreciate our own work. I like this.
Hey, when it's this good, fuck yeah.
This one was fun. This is a lot of fun. This is our attempt at making like a radio-friendly song.
All right.
You know? Still ended up being like 5 minutes.
We still tried to trim it down.
We tried.
Crossing the Jordan, the last one was our like shortest one.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Song ever. Yeah.
This is not bad. 5:30 once again. I mean, it's a really good track.
We had to try to get it to 5:30.
It was tough.
We had to trim it a lot.
There's a 12-minute version of it.
12-minute version of everything.
Tell me about this track right here. What's the motivation behind the lyrics here?
So outside of our, like, we sort of just figured this out later, but we want to sort of make like a pseudo like concept album.
All right.
And but before that whole idea, the song was just about like, you know, remember the dumb shit I was talking about earlier?
Yeah. That's what it is.
Basically, you know, having feelings for someone and you shouldn't, and they're also kind of playing into it when they shouldn't either, you know, but then like keeping themselves like not emotionally available, but then expecting you to be. You know?
I know. I've been through that shit.
Yeah. You know, dumb shit.
Yeah. Hey, it comes into this beautiful song right here, though, right?
I thought of this when Kate Bush's song was really popular at the time.
All right.
What's that song? Running Up That Hill. Yeah. I liked that chord progression that she used in that song.
Oh, nice. All right.
So I kind of just like lifted it a little bit and then expanded around it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tell me about the album cover over here.
It's just like continuing our theme of like classical sort of artwork. I'm pretty sure I should know the artist names that I'm lifting this stuff from, but this is depicting a certain scene in Dante's Inferno, and I wanted to do that after we decided what the concept album was going to be, and so it's going to be like loosely based around the 9 Circles of Hell. And so each song will be like loosely related to that.
Oh, let's go. Yeah.
And then like intermittently, I was thinking about having like a sort of like exposition dump song.
All right.
You know, just to sort of keep on track of like, oh yeah, this is also a concept album, by the way. But you know, like nothing like too super, like I don't know, like for instance, like this song will just be about like I forget which. I think it's like either the 8th or 9th circle. I forget which one. But one of them is like about betrayal.
Yeah.
And so this will kind of be just play like that.
On that one, yeah.
But like, you know, in the song, I'm not like literally singing about the 9th circle. It's just supposed to be like loosely related to each one. So that was like our idea. And then like Crossing the Jordan will be like the intro to the album a little bit.
Oh man, that's gonna come in hard.
And so so like that song is about dying, you know, and then being taken down the River of Styx, which leads you to each circle. And have you ever heard of Dante's Inferno before?
Yeah.
Yeah, Virgil like takes Dante and like shows him each circle or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it must be kind of like a lousely based
That's
idea
cool,
about that.
Yeah. It'll keep the album flowing kind of interesting too, you know.
And then I want to have like kind of a pretty straightforward track at the end of the album where, because the main character is supposed to be like wanting to die, like he feels like he has nothing to live for, you know, just kind of doesn't want to do anymore. Depression, you know, that whole spiel. But I want the character to be shown like each circle of hell, and then like at the end come to the conclusion like, no, I want to live. Actually, like I feel like I've found a reason to keep going. Like I've revisited all these memories and all these things, and then but I've realized that like that's what life is. Life is just about like, you know, you'll have your ups and downs, but ultimately it is worth living. It is worth doing, you know. And so I want to have a song at the very end of the album where the character sort of discovers that and then sort of makes that proclamation to the world, and then carries us out of the album, and then that's it.
Now you got to have like a strong ending, huh? Because your opener is gonna be fucking insane, right?
I know.
Yeah. You got to keep that flow going. Do you feel any pressure though, like to have that opening and then that ending too?
I used to like really feel a lot of pressure when it came to writing. Like in the very beginning, I used to feel like, because I would just, you know, I would constantly think like, you know, well, my favorite writer wrote Stairway to Heaven. So, you know, I've got to write something cool too.
There you go.
So it was very hard at first. But I think I've learned to just like like I'm not saying like I'm like phoning it in or anything, but like I've learned to like really just appreciate what we come up with and the work we come up with. And then like, you know, a part of me is really, really proud of what we come up with. You know,
yeah.
like when we revisit these older songs or whatever, sometimes I'll listen to it. I'm like, man, that was really cool. I'm really, really happy with what we did there.
I feel like we're like coming up with like an opening or a clear. I feel like we actually don't tend to have that problem because like a lot of our songs, like No Gods Again, is like another one where that was the first song on like a previous like release that we had put out.
Yeah.
We like did the first version of that song, and that one's the same idea. It's like a really big opening song, but it could also be a really big closing one. And it's like I feel like we can do that with a lot of our songs. We've got, as of late, we've been working on ones that are less so like that, but I feel like that was our approach before with a lot of our songs. It was like, let's start with like a really nice opening for it, and then it gets really big, and then like it's really grand, and it's really long, and there's these solos and all these vocal things, and this really big drawn out like repeating ending and all this stuff. And we do that with like a lot of our older songs. So it more so turned into like, okay, now we need to figure out like how do we fill the album with other things.
Yeah.
Like other kind of, we need shorter songs, we need like a more accessible song, maybe an acoustic, like more like a chiller song here and there.
Writing the short songs was like
it's so restricting.
that was the hardest part.
I think that
It feels like you're like being told to bake or cook something, and they only give you like 3 things.
Yeah, you get
Just
3
do
ingredients.
this, and you only have like 15 minutes to make something.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's like, but you can do so much more. But
I think that's what's great about your music, though, is that again you have no time limit. You know what I mean, to tell your story, and really, you don't have to cut anything off. You just tell it the way that you imagined it, right?
Yeah, we've gotten a lot better with trying to like force ourselves to like trim up the fat. You know,
we want those 12-minute tracks.
Well, hey, like I said, the new song is going to top that record.
Oh man, I love that right
it's
there.
It's going to top it. We tried.
Is that the?
We tried.
It's almost like it's like 8:30 right now, but
yeah,
that's dope right
what was
there.
our
Though.
longest one before that? Was it not 9 minutes? How long was Love and Peace? That was 7 minutes.
Oh no, technically,
Occam's Razor?
no. The other one was Sharon, where she did the keyboard solo.
The Prophet?
Yes,
Exorcist.
Technically that one's like 9 minutes.
Okay.
Okay,
hell yeah, that was dope.
well,
But you know what? That one didn't I don't think that one justified its length.
No, it didn't. That one doesn't count.
It just kind of repeats the same, like a lot of the parts repeat.
All right.
And they kind of were all really drawn out. And then there's like a couple of solo things, and there's a really
That one
cool
doesn't
solo,
count.
keyboard solo. But yeah, it doesn't justify. It's not
All right.
justified.
That one doesn't count.
It's not filled with
one,
content.
This one we tried. We tried to trim up as much fat on it as we possibly
Fucking
could.
hard though, huh?
It is, and like it's still like 8:30 or something like that.
8:30 right now.
Yeah.
But you don't have like a time limit though. Not like when you had CDs where you had, you know what I mean.
Right,
you really had
right.
to force it, but
No,
leave it.
we've just kind of sort of came to the consensus that like we want to try and make things a little more accessible, because I mean there's plenty of stuff that we love that's super accessible, you know.
It's
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
to get, musicians, again, it's like musicians and stuff will be down to listen to like a really long song. But especially like the younger generation.
Oh,
obviously,
man,
with
yeah, that's
TikTok and
different,
everything,
yeah.
it's like everything needs to be like
yeah,
quick.
nah, fuck that, dude.
Our new song is going to
does,
have
yeah.
like 20 different TikTok sounds in it, because it sounds like there's
It's
20
funny,
different
when you
songs.
skip around in it and go to different sections, it sounds like you're listening to like
different
5
song.
different songs.
And it is
It
cool how it all
changes a
blends
lot,
in, huh?
yeah.
That's fucking
that
dope.
was the challenge, but we figured it out.
Hell yeah,
I'm
hell yeah.
really, really excited.
Do we have an album release date yet? Any idea when it's gonna come out?
I want to try and do it this year.
All
I'm
right.
gonna say realistically it's next year, but
I want to try.
it'd be cool to get it done this year.
Hey, that would be cool.
December 31st.
It still counts, man.
I want to try and get it done before the end of the year.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to listening to this new project. You guys have an upcoming live event, right? That you guys are going to be performing in?
Yes.
You want to go ahead and plug that? That's your camera right
Yeah.
there. Go ahead and plug social media while we're at it.
We're playing Tumblr on Sunday. What is that? The 8th?
Yeah.
The 8th
With Rat Tower and
with Rat Tower and the New Revenge.
So Justin will
With
be there
Justin's,
twice.
Justin's one of his 14 bands that he's in.
They don't know it's him, man.
No, that's right.
They don't know
talked
it's him.
about-
Just
we
go like
actually-
this.
I don't think you were part of that. I don't think we ever told you about it, but we were joking because you know how because you wear like a mask and stuff, like you wear like a partial mask
Yeah.
or whatever in that band, and like I even talked about we talked about like because we were coming up with like our outfits and stuff for Tragic Prince and like our look. And I, at one point, talked about, I was like, what if we put him in, like, we talked about, like, what if we, like, Justin's, like, this mysterious, tall, like, bass player, or, like, musician, put him in, like, a suit of armor. He's got a full,
shit.
like the mountain in Game of Thrones or something. Like, he's just, like, this mysterious, tall, like,
Clinging everywhere,
player.
making all this
And
noise.
it's like, who is that guy?
Who is that?
And, like, he's just, like, he's in all these different bands, but it's, like, nobody knows that this is the same guy in the bands, but it is.
There's this giant in all three of the
There's
bands.
this tall
playing.
dude
Hell
playing
yeah.
bass, playing drums.
That's gonna be on Sunday at Tembler, you said, right?
Tembler, yes.
Oh hell yeah! What time are you guys gonna be going on?
I think we're first. I think it's like 8 or something.
That's dope right there.
7:30, 8 or 8.
Any pressure to open up the event because you're gonna have all these dope ass bands in there?
No, I mean I like it. You put me wherever, I'm fine.
Hell yeah! Justin's like, I'm ready, huh?
I'll be really nervous sometimes, like before we play, but I hit the stage and I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah,
That's
you're
just
in
my
the
domain.
Once we before it was kind of like we had like an unrealized portrayal of like the band. Like we had all these different kind of songs. And like it's like so we would be like, oh, we can't play that song at this show. Like this is a wrong crowd. Don't play that song. Don't play 365.
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
It's way too soft and like dumb for these people. And then as well as like the look and everything. But I mean, we technically our first show that we played as this band was. Technically it would be
for
the first show.
LA
With our look
Guns?
and everything was with LA Guns at the Nile.
At the Nile.
Oh, all right,
That was
yeah, yeah.
that was
and it was
dope.
really cool.
That was great,
Like that
yeah.
gave us like a really good feeling, and also like a bunch of people liked us, and they came and like took pictures with us after, and were like,
Yeah,
talking
it was
to us.
crazy. People were coming up and they
It's
were
different,
like,
yeah.
they were like literally treating us almost like celebrities. It was
and I was
crazy.
like, and I was just like, oh yeah, like where are you guys? And I was like, this is like our first show.
Hey, you got to take it all
but
in,
you know,
man.
But you know what though? It's like when you do all that stuff, like because we had makeup, we had the costumes, we had all this stuff, and like it just, I think, it really makes it like real. It makes it a real show.
Yeah,
you know?
there you go.
And like when we did that, it's like, yeah, like people like, I mean, it is a really good feeling to know that like people like really resonated with what you were playing and they liked it and all that stuff. But it's something else entirely when they come up and they're like, you know, touch my hands or whatever, you know, like
Get off me,
it's
man.
wild. Yeah, it was wild, but it was really
That's
really
cool. What an
fun.
experience, though, huh?
I think it just that, and then now that we have this whole thing going, it just gives you a little bit more, at least us, like more confidence when we're up there.
Damn,
like,
there
you
go.
This is what we're doing, and this is like, you know, this is how we're gonna perform. This is the song we're playing. This is what we
Yeah.
look like.
Hell yeah, that's what it's
And
about
also,
right there.
what's funny is I was actually talking to Tren like the other week or whatever, and we were talking about how we're both playing.
Shout
the
out
show.
Trent, yeah.
And like they also dress up, and you know they have this
Yeah.
whole thing going on, and like so this like heavily themed band. And he was asking me, he was like, "You know what Rat Tower's like?" And I was like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Cause I don't know if they know. Like, there's these two bands that are gonna be like dressed up and stuff." He's like, "I don't know. Like, then they're gonna be up there. They have like band T-shirts on, all that. They're, like all these like heavily thematic, like
These
crazy
freaks are coming up and playing before
bands.
us.
Like
Hell
before
yeah.
them, I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I was like, I mean, like style wise, it works. It's fine. I think they have like some punky stuff and like rock stuff." But yeah, I just thought that was funny with Trent. I was just like, I have no idea, but they don't know. They don't know what they're in for.
I'm
guess.
also in the
Yeah.
mindset too that like we could get booked for like a country show, and I'd be like,
Why not?
I'll do it, and we're definitely
we'll
dressing
do
up.
it, and we're gonna play like the best like Tragic Prince version of Johnny Cash.
yeah, we'll throw,
Hell
that,
yeah,
we'll
why
throw
not?
that in as a treat. Yeah,
Why
yeah.
not? You know, gentlemen, thank you guys for coming on the show. Do you guys want to go ahead and plug social media, man? That's your cameras right there. Let's go one at a time.
Well,
You go first.
official Tragic Prince, right? No,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
on Instagram.
It is now.
Facebook.
Check
I
us
don't
out
think
on
we're really on
Spotify.
anything else. I think we have a TikTok actually, technically.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I haven't posted anything to it yet, but it'd be cool if you followed it anyways. Maybe I
Hell
will.
yeah, get
I will,
ready for
I
some.
will start posting.
Yeah, we do
to
need
it.
to make.
There you
we,
go.
we have some content that we can do.
Yeah.
Once we see the number go up, that's when we'll start
Number
posting,
go up?
because then you
There we go.
listened.
Spotify, Tragic Prince on Spotify, Apple Music,
Title,
Amazon, Title,
whatever you use.
YouTube,
New
whatever it
music
is.
will be coming soon. We actually were recording new tracks. Like what was that? Like last week or something?
Yeah, it was last week.
Yeah.
And again next week.
And then again next week. Yeah.
Got to get it all in, huh? Hell yeah. Justin, you want to plug your social media since you're like in 20 bands, man.
Yeah, so I'm Justin Pittman musician or musician Justin Pittman. Just type either or into Instagram and you'll find me there. I don't really post that much content myself, but I do repost as much as I can from like all of the stuff that I'm involved in. Like, so you'll see all of the gigs and all of the promotion and stuff. So
Yeah.
that'll be.
Hell yeah.
Mine is Jordan Christopher Sutton. I don't really post a whole lot of photos. I do every now and then. I mostly post memes to my stories.
There you go.
And then every now and then I'll post like some horrific thing that's happening in the world that you need to have attention on. But outside of that,
Michael Anthony Bonanno, but again, yeah, I don't post. Actually, I feel like if you look at mine from an outsider, like you're gonna see most of all of my posts like recently or in the past probably a couple of years is just like mutual shared posts from the disassociates. So it's a lot of those TikToks that we were doing and stuff.
They kept you busy up for a while.
And the
Hell
habits.
yeah.
And the habits.
and the habits. Yeah.
There you go. Thank you guys once again for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Justin, I'm going to see you again next week with your other band.
Yeah. See you then.
And see you guys, man.
Thank you.